Guys, welcome. My name is Erica, and I am the program manager conductor. I see some familiar faces, but a lot of new ones. So I'd love to tell you a little bit about Conductor. We exist to empower entrepreneurs, small business owners, and small business leaders. And we do that through events like today, workshops that will bring you information to help your small business. We do that through one-on-one consultations. We have a team of 6, and then we have a team of subject matter experts that provide workshops for us 2 hours out of the month. And we have anybody from an accountant to a lawyer to marketing professionals to subjects that our team does not have as expertise. So feel free to check that out at arconductor.org. If you are learning something new today or enjoying being here today, please interact with us on social media, whether that's through Silver Lakes Design Studio or Conductor, arconductor.org. And that's all I have to say. So we'll go ahead and let Jessica get started. Please help me welcome her.
Jessica Crow, I own Silver Lake Design Studio. I am from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Anybody ever been there?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in Pine Bluff, I wanted to pursue a creative job, and so I felt like I had to get out of here to find a creative job. So I moved to Los Angeles when I was 16 years old. And that's where I attended fashion school. So my background was in fashion. I've kind of pivoted to a whole new career here in Arkansas. But in LA, I went to fashion school and had my kids in Beverly Hills and met my husband in Hollywood and designed for brands like Anthropologie and Dillard's and JCPenney, all kinds of fun product development for national brands there. And then we moved our family here in 2012, where I found out for my passion for design in working with local businesses. So I love to help businesses create branding, websites, marketing materials, really launch anything. It lights me up. I love being a part of the impact that small businesses are making. And I've been doing it now for 8 years. And we now have a team of 10 at Silver Lake, and we've served over 400 clients since 2015. We started in design and branding, making anything look beautiful, and we've grown recently to add marketing services like SEO and email marketing and ads management. A lot of the industries we work with are in a few major categories. So this is an example of some of the bigger Arkansas influencer brands we work with. And we work in a lot of service industries. We work with consumer products in developing this product lines and brands and campaigns. We work with educational brands and lots of pod-based nonprofit brands. So I want today to be valuable for you, and I'm going to try to squeeze in a lot of the major lessons I've learned in the past 8 years into this 45 minutes. And first, I just wanted to get to know who's in the room. I know there's a lot of you, but I was going to have you introduce yourself. So is that okay? Can I do that?
Yeah.
I know we're virtual, and so I don't know if we want to turn the camera on and meet it. But can we just start here, and you can tell me who you are, your title, your business, and why you're here. Just very briefly.
They're Petty Consulting Group, and I'm just here to learn more about branding.
Cool.
My name is Caitlin Sullivan. I work at Arkansas Credit Union. My title is Marketing and Communication Specialist. I always love coming to the Conductor to just gain all the knowledge. I think.
Hey, I'm Rochetti, and I've been in marketing for a while, but kind of took a break from the creative side for about 5 years. And so I'm just trying to get back into it, and I'm a life coach.
That's Sherwood with Main Street Media and Marketing, and I know you're really good at what you do, so I'm going to learn from you.
Tyler Olhosky, and I follow Trey Benton.
Michaela Styles, and I also have a very long title. Artist, volunteer, and community leaders.
And I'm here to,
Okay, quick shout out, these two ladies, work for the Creative Institute, which is a nonprofit that I co-founded, a couple of years ago. And, they have a whole slew of new students this fall who need projects. So, find them afterward and let them know if you need some design work, photography, video, that kind of stuff, because, their students need project work, and I'm sure they're gonna do all those things. Oh my gosh, Chanel is really excited. I haven't heard about you. Let's go.
Oh, I'm Harlan Mifflin, the owner of HM Mobile Welding and Fabrication. I'm sure where I'm at, Brandon.
I'm Kath Barton, and we are opening Good Day Pottery and Art Studio in West Conway, and we have our brand, but we need to learn how to do more with it. Things can't be too informed.
Cool.
My name is Whitney Wilson. I'm actually the manager for Good Day Pottery and Art Studio. My background is in math education and healthcare, so this is a new world for me. So I'm here to learn.
Hi, I'm Margaret Schwiler. I'm a new author, hope to publish a series in 2024, facing a mountain of self-promotion technical challenges.
My husband's a writer, so I know you don't love that. All right.
My name is Skylar Davenport. I'm a business myself. I'm having split. I'm here today to learn about branding and what it means to be.
Mysterious.
Danny Williams, I'm co-owner of Dreams and Visions Contracting and Consulting, and we specialize in outdoor living areas, creating those spaces. And I just want to have the best branding possible, so I'm here to learn what I can from you.
Did you just build a shed in Jenny's back there?
We didn't do the shed, but we did the dry creek bed and drainage and all that.
The creek bed looks so cool. There's about to be an Airbnb on, what's the street it's on? Robinson and Davis.
Yeah.
And he did the whole beautiful landscaping creek bed situation. It's amazing. She
Thank
was
you.
raving about you. Yeah. Yeah.
My name is Miguel Thor. I'm a student at UCA, doing Web3, AI, and blockchain consulting, and I'm just here to learn as much as I can and just love networking with other like-minded individuals.
I am Stephanie Wade. I am a media buyer turned business teacher. And I am a business teacher at Cabot High School, and these are all my small business operations students. I'm trying to go into the community. This is their third level course, and so I'm trying to get them to understand what it's like in the real world and hear your conversations. So.
You guys have an hour to come to class to this today? Do any of you guys have business ideas? Want to start a business someday? Okay, what is it? Okay, cool. Yeah.
And for me, I think I want to make like lithium battery packs. You can buy the cells and then I think I'm going into that.
Okay. I don't know what it means, but later. Okay, and there's two.
Hi, my name is Adrian. I am an IT recruiter for we're a nonprofit really in the tech space, just trying to help people break in. We are definitely a segment of expanding into other industries. So this really interested in learning about, what branding might look like in the future and how I can best.
Cool.
Chris Kinder, I'm a senior project manager at UNS, and trying to learn something that's a little outside my limits.
Okay, wow, this is a wide variety. So first thing we're gonna talk about is consistency. So we're gonna go through kind of the 5 basics of branding, and the first is consistency. So we're just gonna dive right in, and with a pretty exciting stat that brand consistency gives a significant competitive advantage to your brand. So you'll have a 33% higher revenue compared to brands that struggle with off-brand content. This is really, to me, a trust factor. I mean, maybe not everybody in the room is a designer, but you know when you see something and it ain't right. So you know that if you see something that's blue and yellow, it represents who? IKEA is blue and yellow. Okay, IKEA is definitely one of them. Yes. I was thinking more. If you see a graphic that's white and red, what do you think? Target. Chick-fil-A. Okay, yes. Okay, so colors can remind us of a brand very quickly. It's like crazy how quickly our brain can imagine a picture of something we've seen because of the colors, so that same thing works the opposite direction. If you see something that doesn't match a brand, you also might notice that, okay, this is inconsistent. I don't remember where I saw this before. I don't even know whose, graphics I'm looking at. So there's a lot of importance and subliminal kind of reaction to color and brand consistency. We'll just talk a little bit about some of those elements, but show of hands, who in the room has a logo for your business? Business owners only. No, you have a logo. Okay, keep your hand up if your logo was designed by a professional. It was DIY, keep your hand up if you also have a style guide with like color palettes, fonts, etc. and some rules on it. I'm getting an ish. Okay, so I've got a few of you who you're locked in for style guide. Good job of that. For everyone else, I'm going to give you a recipe so that you can leave here and get yours locked in, so that we can stay really consistent. So there's a few things that go into logo design that make it really relevant and memorable. So obviously you want your design to be simple and memorable. This is an example of a food truck brand that we did a few years ago. Simple and memorable means we can't do highly illustrated, highly detailed logo designs because it makes them less memorable. So people have to burn a lot of calories to figure out what's going on there, what they're looking at, mental calories. And simple is always more memorable. Relevant and unique, I like to talk about this because relevancy is as it pertains to the personality of your brand. So if you are, Annie's Organics, and you have a Target logo, that just doesn't feel relevant to who you are, to the personality of your brand. If you want your brand to feel organic, natural, local, and homegrown, we're looking for some natural and organic elements. We're not looking to be super clean and modern with our branding. So that's what I mean when I talk about relevancy. I want it to be relevant to who you are. So ask yourself that question when thinking about your brand, your logo stuff, and your overall branding. Is it relevant to who you are? And is it unique? So again, I'm not a fan of grabbing a stock icon off Google and using it as your logo because somebody else out there has it. And then define fonts and colors are something that you just have to have if you want to be consistent. And you want to make sure that you have all of the files you need so that you can use your logo in a versatile way. I know that you know what I'm talking about. When you see maybe let's think of a rectangle sign, it's really wide and narrow, and someone squeezed a logo into the center of it because it was a stacked logo that didn't fit the long, narrow space. Some of you may have experienced this. Kind of put your logo on the sign. So you want the versatility, you want more than just one layout for your logo. I'll show you what I mean. We're just gonna run quickly through a Silver Lake style sheet. So this is the style sheet for dynamic warranty. We always offer our clients a primary, a secondary, and an icon. So this is what I'm talking about when I say versatility. If you don't have all of these options for your logo, I would recommend leaving here and trying to develop those. You will need them in some place and some form. Another thing is you'll need all of these in all of the different tones of color. So you'll need a light version and a dark version based on the background that you're using. If you've ever tried to pop your dark logo in a dark background and it doesn't show up, you know what I'm talking about. So just make sure you have all of the file types that you need. When it comes to color palette, I always recommend that you have a light color and an accent color and then a dark color that functions like black. So yes, you can add black if needed, but I like to incorporate a black tone, a dark tone into a color palette so that it just stands out as a little bit different. And then on your website, you want to use some of these accent colors as buttons because it will have pop effects when you're using CTAs, calls to action on your website. Some of my rules are that you want to use contrasting color whenever possible. A little bit of my pet peeve to see social graphics and things with this kind of tonal effect that you're seeing up here at the top left. So I know that like trash design is trending right now and has been for over a year. I'm personally over it. But people will do some things that are like not the best design choices. Honestly, just not accessible design choices. Because if I'm colorblind or maybe have sight or vision impairment, I can't see those two colors on the left. So contrasting colors is important, you know, for legibility and accessibility as well. I would say once you lock in your color palette, don't be adding colors. Don't do it. But don't do it. And we always recommend that small businesses use Canva. You can put your color palette into the brand kit of Canva and use it over and over and over again. And white is always okay. You want to add white. Also on your style sheet, you need a fonts guide. So I recommend a header font, a body font, and if you're adventurous, an accent font. Your header font should be used for short bits of text. So I don't want to say a testimonial that's on your website. It's 3 paragraphs long and it's in your header font. It feels like it's screaming. So there are some areas where you want to be mindful about using header fonts versus body fonts. A body font is always going to be more basic. Don't choose a highly decorative font for your body font. It's not legible. You're going to use it for long sections of text, so you want it to be a little more rich. Lots of people will tell you that you can mix and match serifs and sans serifs. So I don't know how people are going to get into that today. But when you use a program like Canva, they'll even recommend some font combinations. All I'll say is once you pick your fonts, stick with them. Because that is a subtle way that you're showing people that you're consistent with your branding. And you can fool them thinking that a professional would pay $1,000 to do your brochure or whatever it is you're designing if you are consistent. Okay, here's a little example. This is a very low resolution photo, but I got it on Google. Of one of our clients who did a little quick DIY logo. I'm all for a DIY logo. That's where you're at. If you're in the first few months of your business and you can't afford a $900 logo, totally understand. What I don't recommend is finding clip art and using it in your branding because it will be hard to replace it every year later. If you've ever wrapped a vehicle, I don't know if you've wrapped your welding truck yet, but it can be between $1,000 and $3,000, even $5,000 to wrap a vehicle with vinyl. So you don't want to put branding on a vehicle that you're not going to use for several years. So I would say be careful about putting DIY artwork on your vehicles. If you are in the first stage of building a brand and you don't have, and you're not going to hire somebody to make your logo, sometimes I recommend just picking a font and a color palette that you're going to use and be consistent with that. I would say be careful about driving to the park and, using that as your primary logo. Because you will be part of it eventually, and you will already be on everything. So this is how we rebranded A+ Safe and Lock, with this kind of vintage inspired, walk up, and, they really wanted their branding to feel, cozy and comfortable and, kind of like that old school barbershop vibe. So that's what we've got going on here. And now, whenever anything is designed for them, it's totally on brand. We're using their fonts, their colors, and their logo files to design everything that we do. So that's what it looks like to be consistent. And they have fixed the truck. Don't worry. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about identity. I know that on this sheet I've passed around to you guys, I've got kind of the checklist there, so I definitely want to encourage you to go through the checklist. It should be on the back side. Yeah, okay, with 2 columns going down. On the left-hand side is a checklist kind of about what you need in your style guide, and your brand guide that you're using for anybody looking at your stuff. On the right is an identity checklist. So that's number 2. Second basic branding is identity. It goes beyond just the aesthetics and the colors and the fonts. It really, your identity is what people know you for, you know. I would say for your business, reliability and quality are some of the things that make up your brand identity. So obviously you guys are digging into the mission, vision, and values. If you're starting a business, I know that that's going to be top of mind, especially if you're working with Conductor. They're helping you figure out your uniqueness and your core messaging. But really quickly, I do like to talk about and show kind of how important it is to be clear and simple. So one of our team members is StoryBrand certified. I don't know if you guys follow Donald Miller, but he's like the Lord of messaging and when it comes to marketing. So he uses this website example and asks, what does this company do? Can anyone tell me what this company does? What do they sell? You can make some guesses. Maybe photography. Travel agent. Not heard that one before. Furniture. Maybe. Okay. Okay, yeah. I've heard consulting. So there are. This is kind of the dummy test. You know, I know you've heard that you have about 3 seconds to tell people what you do when they get to your website. So this is the hero section of their website, and I can't tell you what they do. I don't have an answer for it because I don't know either. But what I do know is that they were not simple and clear. And that's what I don't want for you. So some of your homework is to go back, look at your website, and see if on the very top section, does it pass the dummy test? Does somebody know very quickly what you do? What I encourage you to do is use simple language. Because without words, a viewer can only assume what you're saying and what you do. I mean, a picture does help communicate what you do. So if you can use a photo of what you do on your homepage, that's really helpful. But the words have to be there too, and they have to be simple and clear. So if we have time, we'll walk through some of those with you, but I'm just going to run down the basics of how to create a clear message for your marketing. And again, this is very much around your brand identity, who you want to be known as, what you want to be known for. This is where your brand voice comes in. You know, sometimes we have clients who want to be really fun, like MailChimp. I don't know if you guys are using MailChimp, but their language is so fun. Every email they send out feels like they're your BFF already because of the way that you communicate in their branding and messaging. Versus if I get a message from Edward Jones, it's going to be pretty formal. So depending on who you want to be as a brand, this is where your brand voice comes in. This is something that you're thinking about. This is something we ask every client we have when they come to us for a website. We ask, what is your brand's personality? And sometimes it's just you reflected on your brand. But sometimes you're like, no, I want my brand's personality to be compassionate, to be more like thoughtful and empathetic. I don't know, whatever you want your brand's personality to be, define it so that everybody's writing on behalf of your brand. If you hire somebody to do your social media, hire somebody to do your website, they understand what the personality of your brand is. It's just really hard to write on behalf of somebody. So it helps people out. All my marketers are more like this. Okay. So our core message formula for you guys, this is on the back of your sheet, is we keep it real simple and say problem and solution and a call to action. So I hope that most of you heard about our Level Up conference, which is in March of 2024. This is a conference for women in business. And this is our core message. As women in business working toward our dreams is hard to prioritize. We designed the Level Up conference to help you spend a full day working on your goals alongside industry experts. Get your ticket today. So this is our message because we want to lead with empathy. We want to lead with the problem. And sometimes the problem is not physical and tangible. Sometimes the problem is more philosophical or emotional. For women, the problem is that spending time on their own dreams is hard to do. Because we are empathetic beings, we help our mom and our sister and our brother and our kids, and then our dreams happen and get worked on at like midnight. We were super tired. So the problem that we're addressing is that it's hard to prioritize. And our solution is a conference where you can work on your goals right there during the event. And then what I don't want you to ever forget is your call to action. What do you ask me to do? So this is sometimes the hardest thing. It sounds simple, but sometimes it's the hardest thing for people to narrow down is the problem they solve, what they're offering, and what the next step is for their customer. So I'm going to give you guys like 3 minutes to work on this sheet. And those of you who are veterans and have already done this work, you know, you can just fill it right in and then help the person next to you. But take a few minutes and try and define what problem you solve, what do you do to solve it, and what's the next step for people to get involved. If you're watching online, you don't have this sheet. We're writing down what problem we solve and how we solve it, what we do, and the call to action, the first step in working this. I love it. Who wants to share? Mr. Welderman? No, I did not bring a pen, so you're looking at it differently. You wanna talk about how you thought?
This is the customers and farmers and stuff when their equipment breaks.
Okay. Okay. So is the problem that the equipment's broken, are there other people to solve it, or is there something else that's making you a little more unique?
That's about it. There's not a lot of people that do mobile welding where I'm at, so that's.
Where you're at?
Yeah.
Where you live?
Multiple, Conway County. That they
Okay.
do a-
And so the
Service.
problem with the broken farm equipment is that they can't continue getting the work done for the night. What do you feel like is the problem?
it stops work for the day.
It's just like everything has stopped when your equipment's broken. Okay, so the problem is the equipment's broken and the workday stops. Your solution is,
You know, they come fix it and they don't have to bring it to anybody.
okay, so you bring a welder to them, fix it on site. And is there like some kind of quick turnaround? I don't know, what are the other uniquenesses that are making you different from other mobile welders?
I mean, what separates me from the mobile welders, but the fact that they don't have to tear the machine apart to bring what's
Yeah.
broken into town into a shop. And then
Okay,
I come
so
up
that
with
was the deal. I don't know, because I don't have the farm equipment, so thank you for. Okay, so when your equipment breaks and it shuts down the workday, I'll come straight to you and make welding repairs on site. And then what's the next step? How do you get started? Is it give me a call?
Yeah.
Is it text? Yeah, it's probably call.
Yeah, just call. I mean,
Yeah.
no one
Okay.
needs email anymore, so
Okay.
just call.
Okay, cool. Well, there you go. So all of that, in one sentence can be the bio on your social media accounts, can be, the top 2 sections of your website. So I would definitely always recommend that you talk about problem and solution within the first few seconds of your website, because it's one of the best ways to quickly tell people what you're doing. Anybody else want to share problem and solution?
A problem that we want to solve is a lack of accessible, creative community building outlets in town. And to help that, we offer a variety of classes, craft workshops, and open studio hours for walk-in creative opportunities.
Okay.
And to get involved, you can check our social media or.
Okay, so this is one of those where you have a pottery studio, and the problem you're solving is really more about bringing people together. You know, it's not like, oh, I wish I had a pot to make today.
Right.
It's nice to make a pot. Like, you know, sometimes there's a problem that people just aren't thinking of, like it's, you know, not something that's just on top of their mind. But a problem that might be on top of their mind is company culture is waning, and I need a way to connect, you know, with my team again. So there are even some like empathy strings you can pull on when you're talking about the problem that you solve. I think this is also when it's something where you could be talking to 50 people about pottery. You want to narrow in on who your people are, who's at the center of your target, which is a very scary thing for most small businesses to do, because you don't want to say no to everybody else. But the secret sauce is when you can talk to the center of your target, knowing that everybody on the outside is also paying attention, and they'll find you anyway. So the center of your target is usually the person who has the money, they love working with you, they do have a problem that needs solving, and that's who you want to put as target. So if you just know, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have like mom and daughters come in and do some pottery together, that's gonna happen. But that residual revenue and that ongoing audience is gonna be companies, bringing out their teams, or sports teams that want something to do together that's not on the field. Whatever it is, picking a target audience that you talk to all the time is really important, because it will feel too niche. If you're talking about get your team together, come make pottery. But the truth is, if I read that and I want to bring my small group, I'm still gonna bring my small group. You know, you don't have to worry that the secondary and tertiary audiences are getting cut out when you talk specifically to your core audience. So I would even like get a little more niche of how you're talking to them when you talk about a problem or something. Because it was a little broad. I would narrow in. Anybody else want to do that?
I can start on finding a method so this is helpful. So it's difficult to see or develop a clear vision of the dynamic space that invites and facilitates relationships with the community. That's what the word is all about. That's the problem. And then we help to envision and create a uniform functional space. And so there's all the action of the consultation and vision.
Okay. I know you as, are you doing more than that now that you're called construction?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that business handed off several years ago.
Right.
We started a new business. So primarily it's creating outdoor spaces, which is really broad because we do everything from
Sure.
infrastructure, drainage, that sort of thing, as well as recreational swim ponds, outdoor kitchens, deck, all the entire living space.
Okay.
Whether you have close, intimate, small gatherings regularly, or you want to be one of those big gatherings.
Yeah.
Just really great living spaces that are beautiful and mimic nature in their design. And then we also do like kitchen, like bathroom spaces, but that's secondary.
Okay.
So we're trying to be able to message both.
Okay, yeah. Challenging. In the center, are you targeting commercial or residential?
Residential would be our target market.
Okay. So I don't think I heard you say outdoor spaces the first time you said,
Yeah.
the problem that you saw.
Yeah.
So I think that something like, you want an outdoor space that's exciting, but you're not a landscape designer. We come in, design the space, and execute the vision with you so that you can be with family and friends for years to come. Something like that.
Yeah.
And then you can go back and watch the recording.
So,
I said you can go back and watch the recording if you want to write that down. But then your call to action, again, very specific. Maybe book a consult. I don't know. What do you do right now?
So right now we do zero advertising,
Okay.
and we've just been getting all word of mouth,
Mhm.
and people are calling, texting, and when I can fit them in, we sit down and figure out, hey, what are you looking for?
So it is a first step to have to sit down and
It's a
figure it
first
out
step,
before
yeah.
you can even give them an estimate.
Yeah,
right?
before we do anything,
Okay.
we're gonna kind of sit down and make sure it's a good fit for both of us, and, it's consultant first, you know.
Yeah. So I would even, a lot of people book that online, like book a walkthrough, so I can see your space
Yeah.
and help you envision it.
Is it a big deal if we could, I was trying to give myself like 6 months to develop all this really well before I put anything online. So
Yeah.
that's Good.
Yeah.
Is that, do you think that's a good idea?
Perfection paralysis, it's okay.
Well, here's the other thing, is
okay.
here's the other thing, we have advertising, we've been booked 2 or 3 months.
And you're
out.
too busy,
And
and you
so-
don't wanna hire people.
Yeah, I don't have to advertise, so that's
Okay.
why I have.
So I would say, making sure that the people who are booking you, making sure the people who are calling you are becoming followers of whatever it is you do, are getting on your email list, following you on social media. Basically, those are gonna turn into your referral sources, and you don't want them to forget about you.
So I need to get something together.
So you do need a place for them to opt in, for sure, yeah. You need to build your email list, you need to build your, your contact list so that you have those referrals going up whenever things start settling down. And I would think that this is one of those decisions people don't make overnight and, as opposed to a tractor that needs welding yesterday,
Yeah.
I would think somebody's thinking, okay, 3 months down the road, I want this outdoor space,
Yeah, for sure.
to be built out. So I think you've got even some time to be warming people up when they might not even need your
Yeah.
services for 3 months, Yeah. Yeah, I do have people say that a lot, like, we don't advertise at all, we're super busy. And I'm like, that's amazing, but there will be a slow season, and you wanna have things ready to go. Okay, let's keep moving, but if y'all wanna talk about this later, I've got a little QR code at the bottom of this page where you can look. Okay. So 61% of customers say they would switch to a new brand after one bad experience. So branding basic number 3 is brand loyalty. And we're gonna combine it with branding basic number 4, which is experience. Here is the deal. Most brands are working on customer service, not customer experience. Most brands are reactionary, not proactive. So let's see what that looks like. Customer service is where you've got a problem and it needs solving. So someone calls you because something went wrong. I don't know what was going off, but I think you're being reactive, it's transactional, and it triggers an event. So if with customer service, you've got to come up with a solution to the problem. With customer experience, we're focused more on your customer's journey. So the journey is like what we're talking about with the outdoor spaces. If we're focused on the journey, then we're showing them some inspiration, showing them some things that you've worked on in the past couple of months, so they can be dreaming about what they want to do with their space. It's more proactive, it's more experiential. You don't have time to give your customer a great experience when you're just worried about solving their problems. Because when you're in problem-solving mode, you're not really able to nurture that relationship, which for a lot of service-based businesses is like the key to growth, is the relationship. And then with customer experience, you're triggering a feeling. So that feeling is what leads to brand loyalty. And I would challenge you guys to ask yourselves, what am I doing to be proactive about customers' experience, even before they've ever spent any money with me? What am I doing to be proactive about the experience? Because that experience is going to lead to more loyalty. We just read that 86% of customers are willing to pay more for a better experience. So this is one of those areas where, you know, if you want to raise your prices, an experience needs to come with that. Raise the experience. Make sure that their experience with your brand feels different than an experience with the competitor. Okay. Let's walk through the visibility checklist. So this is a huge part of experience to me. If I go and look for somebody online and I can't find them within like, I'm thinking 3, 4, 5 seconds at the most. I mean, I get distracted very easily. I have 2 kids, one is 16, and she needs something every 5 seconds. And so if I can't find what I'm looking for online very quickly, then I'm probably going to forget I was even looking for it in the first place. I don't know if y'all been there and you have 53 tabs open on your Safari app, but I think that's most of us. So you want to make sure your business is not hard to find. You want to make sure your business is on Google and your Google profile is encouraging trust. So I would say some of the basics. Y'all can Google yourself right now if you want to check out your Google listing. I always look on the Google Maps app to see what our Google listing looks like, but you want to make sure it has updated photos of your business and your team. You want to make sure you have Google reviews. If you're not getting Google reviews, ask for them explicitly. Every time, this is something that we do at Silver Lake, which is why we have 52 5-star Google reviews. Every time we get positive feedback, we reply and say, thank you. So we have a saved response in Google that we can just pop in there. And it says, thank you so much for the sweet feedback. Will you please leave us a review so other people can find us too? With a link to the Google listing. So if you go to like maps.google.com, you can grab your business's Google link, and that's what you want to share with them. That's where they can just very quickly review. Again, you don't want to say, will you leave us a Google review? and expect them to go look it up, find the review button. All of that is gonna, I mean, you're allowing for so many distractions to happen in between. So, also, I mean, of course, you want your open hours and your phone number and any way to contact you on your Google listing as well. And then surprisingly, there are still people who use, local directories like the Chamber of Commerce to find, some services and when they move to town, which can be a lot of new residents. So just make sure that you're on local directory listings as well. And then make sure that your social media presence matches everything else. So you've got your messaging there, you've got your branding there, and that your username is really easy to search for. And obviously you also want any of your materials to include your form messaging as well. And everything needs to link back to each other. So, I don't know, I'm a big fan of email signatures. You know, that's where I go to find people's website, contact information, et cetera. So you don't have your email signature set up with all of your contact info, do that. And, all right, how are we on time? Okay. So let's just discuss where you guys feel like you need improvement, what questions you have, and where your, you know, where your issues lie. And I can help you guys try and find some solutions while I'm here for the next minute. Just going to do some live consulting. So look at that checklist. And I would say go through it. How are you doing? How are you doing on your branding? How are you doing on your visibility? Where do you feel like your gaps are? Have you Googled yourself lately?
What are the, like, differences like your Google business or is it? Like, because I feel like that could be confusing when someone uses the other business.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I agree. For someone like you, I mean, SEO, you know, honestly, hopefully your best friend for design. And then making sure that your products are showing up on Google and okay, so you got all, you have them all linked up? Yes. Okay, perfect. So from there, you can optimize with all of the SEO tools that shop. Are you DIYing or are you saying? Yeah. Okay. We have seen a lot of fruit from being friendly with Google as a product based on Shopify with SEO and then of course social ads. Okay. Yeah.
Since you said you're helping with the project, what kind of online things on way at the beginning of that process? So what kind of online thing is he selling that?
He's a screenwriter, so he writes narrative features. His day job is making commercial videos for businesses and nonprofits. But I just know that as an author or a writer, y'all don't love self-promotion. And honestly, it was like a big ask to make him do a post. But I do have a friend who's an author, and she was self-published and created a website to sell her book. She ordered in bulk and then sold. She self-published and distributed as well. So she would do pop-ups. Where are you at?
I'm still early. I'm halfway through the series. I should finish this series this coming year.
Okay.
God willing, but the self-publishing process and the building the website, I'd like to sell direct also. That's kind of the thing now.
Yeah.
They're huge.
And it's a lot, I mean, a lot of it is on your plate, market yourself, do your own pop-ups and.
That would be a question, like, what do you see as someone who's not particularly technically savvy, trying to undertake themselves as opposed to you professional to do it for them.
Yeah. I mean, it all comes down to cost. I would always recommend that you have a professional do, things that aren't equal, because it frees you up to do what your unique gift in is, and bring what you offer to the world, so you're not spinning your wheels and trying to build a website for 3 months straight. I think it's worth it. It's one of those things where you'll get out of it what you put into it, especially with marketing. Now, I think it's worth creating a strategy and putting your money in places where, actually there's some fruit. But as a self-published author, you will have to do a lot of your own marketing. And right now, what you do more writing is making sure you have a following. So, posting about your process, and so that you have an audience to buy your book.
I've been trying to investigate this a bit.
Yeah.
80 million flowers, because my previous incarnation was a landscaper. So I've got 80 million flower pictures and like 50 that have to do with my.
Wow.
It's like a hard term. It's not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, it is. But I admire regulations. You got a question?
Oh, yeah, and a lot of the fact that it would probably be 2 or 3 months before I have a website, social, all that stuff. Is there any reason why I shouldn't go ahead and have a Google listing and start getting those reviews? And
Oh, you definitely should be doing that.
even without all this stuff, the link to or whatever?
Yes.
Should I do?
Yes,
Okay.
1000%. Put your photos on there, put your phone number on there, and send the link for people to review. I have a barber that we're working on his, he's building out a shop right now. He's got a list full of clients that he's bringing over from his previous shop. And we're still working on the website, but he's got a Google list built so that when he launches, he'll have Google reviews and have some, reputation built with Google already. Yeah. Okay, I think we're almost out of time. But I want to encourage y'all to book a meeting with me if you want to hang out and talk more about these things. I do 30-minute consults at no charge, and I can tell you all about the like stuff while I'm here. Or level up, of course. All right, thank you so much. I wasn't sure if I had room for any more. Just like maybe one. Habit people, thank you so much. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
This may be like a really elaborate question,
Yes.
but in terms of personal branding for solopreneurs, how are you approaching the creator economy, and what's your perspective or take on that?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So are
What is it?
we pulling out what you actually do? Are you an
Kind of.
influencer?
Well, no, I provide consulting and value creators
Okay.
on how to build a personal AI system and automate or their CRM or something like that.
We have a few clients who are trying to do this, monetize their influencer brand. And there are some who they have success with sending people back to an online workshop. But then there are others who only have success in, building traffic and audiences and, earning revenue from the platform itself.
Or being an affiliate, so it's like,
For the affiliate.
yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, all we tell them to focus on in the beginning is building an audience. Because no matter what, even if, whether you're publishing, an ebook or sending people to affiliate links, or trying to get people to sponsor your podcast, if you don't have an audience, then you just don't have, any leads really. So yeah, we're telling them to focus on being really consistent, being really specific, niching, and building an audience. That's the very first foundation.
So where should that home for the audience be? Should it be your own website, podcast, and email list, and then that's the foundation, and then you have your sales funnels, which is all your social media outlets?
Yeah, I would say usually I tell people to pick 1 or 2 to start with, because for people who are starting out, it's overwhelming to build a website and email list and a podcast and an email funnel it's overwhelming for them to build it all, so we usually try to pick two to start with. Yeah. But I'm all about the email. I love the email.
Do you think that's the first step?
I love an email, because you can get an email, but follows, obviously for an influencer step, and then, getting people on your email is how it is.
And I know this is like a real like preference depending on what your industry is in, but which like social platform do you think is the best supportive of the value creators? There's people that want to provide value to social media.
I would have a really hard time to know, but it's exactly what it is. What are they promoting, in your demographic? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because there's some people, I have a client who all she talks about is pumpkin stuff, like pumpkin recipes, pumpkin season clothes, pumpkin everything. And she does the best on Facebook, which I would usually never recommend as a primary platform. So I don't know. At this point, it's one of those things where it's like I would have to know who you are, what you're talking to tell you where to prioritize your time. But it is hard because there are so many platforms out there. And then we'll have, an influencer who does really well on TikTok, and then I can't get any Instagram followers to save her life. It's just
All the different algorithms. Yeah.
wow.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica.